Also, this raspberry Pepsi really slaps.
Is it good?
It's really good. I don't know why in my head I was like, oh, it'll just taste like cherry Pepsi. It doesn't. It's really nice.
Why the Dispute? Written by Remy Blackwood. Content warnings, drugs, ableist language. Okay, the last time definitely had drugs. I don't remember ableist language.
Yeah.
So maybe it's slightly different.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, I don't remember Alex being there last time. So, Alex pulls up to your door exactly on time, down to the minute. He always honks when he arrives instead of texting like a normal person. You're waiting for him by the door, but you keep scrolling through Bitter for another 30 seconds to indicate you dislike being honked at like you're walking past a construction site in booty shorts. Valid. The sunroof is open on Alex's 2001 Toyota Camry, cigarette smoke gilded blue in the streetlights. It got dark while you were waiting. You guess that makes it a moonroof.
I'm guessing also because if this is continuing on from the introduction, then maybe she's gonna meet Yolanda on the night out.
Oh, maybe.
Which wasn't the situation before either.
Yeah, because in the demo we kind of got the scene she'd already, she'd just met Inaya, but, they'd already met and they were going on a date.
They were they were hanging out at home.
Yeah. Alex leans out the window, sunglasses pushed up and perched on a blurry mop of honey blonde hair. Wearing your sunglasses at night? Alex pops the lock and you slide into the passenger seat.
Fuck you, the sun was setting into my eyes.
Where are we going?
It's a surprise.
I hate surprises.
Oh, I know.
I really want purple nail polish now. He smacks your hand away from the radio.
Driver picks the music.
Dispute. At first, you think Alex is lost and needs somewhere to idle and pull up directions on his phone. He turns off the car. You look from the sign to Alex and back again. Are you trying to send me subliminal messages? I'm not cutting my hair.
Yeah, absolutely. I brought you in for a surprise makeover at 9 on a Friday night.
You joke, but you did bring me to a salon at 9 on a Friday. Is this a drug deal? Isn't weed legal here? Are we getting meth? I wonder where they are.
Inaya. Oh yeah, because Yolanda's a hairstylist.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
How does one take meth?
Snort it. Do not do that. No. That will destroy everything.
Come on.
Despite your distaste of makeover montages, I misread that as makeover mortgages.
Oh, I thought Montagues.
I love both of those. You follow Alex out of the car and around the building. The back parking lot is a totally different scene. The salon looks closed, but around the back there's an entrance with a wrought iron railing wrapped with fairy lights, and a gaggle of people standing around talking and smoking, all of them dressed way cooler than you are. A gaggle of people, that's so good. The person working the door greets Alex by name, giving you a brief glance before letting you inside.
Guessing Alex is the sort of friend that just knows all the cool places that have got weird small parties going on.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
It definitely smells like a salon, hairspray and bleach, but the back room has been turned into a little performance space, complete with makeshift stage and mood lighting. A girl is selling beers out of a cooler in a corner, and a couple of guys in roadie black are setting up a sound system. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
You sit at a small round table and Alex buys you a drink. The place isn't huge and it's filling up fast. You had no idea something like this was here. You don't go to salons, you haven't cut your hair in years. Do a bunch of shops in town have places like this? Is there, like, a fucking cabaret going on in the back of Lawn Depot?
I wish.
Can you imagine? Like, I would want it to be Lawn Depot themed.
Yeah, like farmer-themed drag cabaret.
Yeah.
Or, like, dressed as a giant sunflower. Like,
yeah. Or and it would be, like, I would want it to be, like, drag king, like, butch, like,
yeah.
DIY butch vibes.
I'm thinking doing a rendition of Stacey's mum, but instead of cleaning the pool, you're like, oh, there's a bit in where it's like, can I mow your lawn?
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
my god.
Do Stacey's mum. We gotta make this happen.
Yes.
You really are being weird. I noticed it on the phone.
What do you mean?
I brought you to what is very clearly a slam poetry event, and you haven't made one snide comment. Clearly you are fake Inaya, and real Inaya is lying knocked out in her apartment. You must have stolen her overalls.
You are so absolutely not gonna take this from this curly-haired bitch. I don't know what I've ever done to give you the impression that I think I'm too good for slam poetry. When have I ever said that? Okay, I do feel like everything about them implies that they think they're too good for slam poetry.
Which is why they're immediately like, actually...
Don't answer that.
Your whole vibe is the vibe of a person who finds slam poetry deeply cringe.
Slam poetry is deeply cringe. Alex makes a gesture with his beer that says, case in point. I love his little... his poses are so
Yeah,
good.
it's like, are you a maid cafe?
You rub your forehead. If you were so convinced that I wouldn't enjoy it, then why did you bring me? Alex shrugs.
What, you thought I was gonna change my Friday night plans just for you?
The little smile hovering around the mouth of his beer lets you know he's joking. Dickhead, just so you know, I'm actually way more cool and open-minded now.
Oh yeah? When did this happen?
Just now, I decided I'm open to new experiences. I'm doing intense, irrefutable character growth as we speak. And there's no chance I'm ever going to regress into bad habits.
Well, that's a relief.
Like, for instance, I didn't complain when you brought me a fucking IPA. She's consistent.
Yeah.
I'm drinking it, okay? I'm drinking a beer that tastes like a whole ass flower garden. Okay, I read that. Like the
Of ass flowers.
ass
The rosebuds.
And now I see that it means a whole ass flower garden. In the name of broadening my horizons.
Her characterization is amazing.
It's so good.
It's just like, this is a well-rounded human being.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you deserve the Nobel Peace Prize.
I was thinking some kind of cultural reward. Or, like, a literature award. Newbery Medal. For great character growth. For drinking bad beer and participating in the corniest public activity known to man. You're a couple words from the end of your manic monologue when the lights go down and conversation cuts off abruptly, leaving you speaking loudly while everyone else goes quiet.
Oh no!
Nightmare fuel. Corniest public activity known to man echoes out across the room like a fart in a bathtub. Suddenly, every cool person in the salon is looking at you, the asshole, the sloppy bitch in the overalls and scraggly hair, here to talk shit. You should probably leave now. You should probably melt down into your component parts, a liquid of carbon-based life form. Ooh, we got some choices!
Pretend it didn't happen or laugh it off.
I feel like laughing it off. Like, laughing will just draw more attention.
Yeah, it'll just make
right?
things worse. Like, if this were me, I would immediately, like, get as low down in my chair as I could.
Yeah.
And just hope that people stop looking at me.
Yeah, I probably would too. So pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Alex the bastard is holding back laughter. He did this to you on purpose. You don't know how he managed it, but he did. Maybe this is his performance art. Despite the melodrama in your head, people lose interest in you pretty fast. None of them look that mad. What you said could probably be interrupted in a bunch of different ways. You just have anxiety.
Yeah, I think we figured that one out.
I also had therapy today. And I gotta say, a lot of this self-deprecating internal monologue, but the, like, externalizing it through, like, broad cultural kind of, like, critique. Like, being like, oh, like, this, that, the other is stupid or, like, cringy or blah, blah, blah. But then her internal dialogue is, like, really self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Is interesting.
I think it's really interesting how a lot of the, like, narration is written in second person.
I was thinking that, yeah. Is that, like, like, it's not a visual novel, like, staple, necessarily, is it? Like, I feel like it's common, but I don't know if it's, like...
It's definitely not a staple, because there's some where... I feel like some of the ones where you're sort of given a player character, it's written as... Like, Doki Doki Literature, for example, is written in first person. It's like, I did this.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because you have, like, a set character that you're playing. Whereas this is kind of, like, more... But we also never see the character, whereas we can see Inaya. And so it's more that we're, like, this... We're looking down on her and telling her things that she thinks about herself. Like,
yeah.
You do this, you do that.
It's interesting because I always, like, personally have found second person to be more immersive, if that's the word I'm looking for, than first person.
It does feel more like the voice that's in your head. Like you're having a conversation with yourself, rather than someone reading in first person being like, this is the thing that I did. Because it's like, well, I didn't do that, you did.
No, that's true. That's a really good point, because I feel like, especially when I'm, like, being mean to myself, I feel like the voice in my head is like, oh, you're such an idiot, or, like, you're this, or you're that, kind of thing. So I think you're right that that's a really effective choice.
Especially for her, like, anxiety brain.
Yeah. Everyone's focus shifts to the woman coming on stage, and you do not blame them in the least. She's pretty, high cheekbones, big striking eyes, and a quiet self-assurance radiating from every motion. She adjusts the mic stand, shakes out her braids, and leans in to speak. Yolanda.
Here she is in her little fishy.
I love the fish hat.
Hey everybody. Hope it's going good out there. The light is in my eyes, so I can't really see shit, but I'm going to assume it's great.
That gets a murmuring laugh from the audience. Whoever she is, she's popular.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Yolanda, owner of Dispute Salon and founder of Jersey City Slam, a weekly free evening of poetry and music.
Oh, yeah, she was talking about being a poet in the
demo. I think they briefly talked about slam poetry and about how... whether or not it's cringe.
Yeah, okay.
If someone charged you a cover fee, sorry, but you got scammed.
The crowd laughs again. Clearly this is a running joke that you are not in on. Despite what you said to Alex, you do think it's a little shitty of him to just bring you to a place where he knows everyone and you know no one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Without telling
Yeah,
them.
without being like, this is a thing that we're going to and you can rely on me for social interactions.
Yeah, because I would, like, if someone had been like, would you like to go to this thing where I know everyone and I can introduce you to people?
Yeah.
And I could either say, yes, that sounds like it would help me with my crippling social anxiety, or conversely, no, I would rather stay at home.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like, no, I don't want you to babysit me all evening.
Yeah.
Which is how it can feel sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. But because he just took her there without, like, saying... Not that you really have that many friends offline, whatever. All that talk about character development was just blowing smoke up his ass, but it's probably not a bad idea. You could stand to be a little more open-minded. To that end, you attempt polite focus as applause greets the end of Yolanda's intro and the studio lights darken. It's surprisingly not terrible, definitely not something you'd come to by yourself, and you're not sure if you'd come back, but the talent level here is high enough that it isn't excruciating. There's a couple singer-songwriter type acts and some decent freestyle rappers, even if the crowd gets too rowdy for you to parse every word. Some of the poetry is good too, if a little dramatic for your taste. Towards the end of the set, the lights go down even further. You're on your second beer, just chilling, when Yolanda gets back up on the stage. The crowd applauds harder for her than they have for anyone else.
Hey all, I've got a new one for you tonight.
Aren't poetry people supposed to snap?
Huh?
You know, snap your fingers so people can hear the poetry.
I don't think anybody actually does that.
Wrong!
Or BSL applause
Yeah.
is also appropriate.
Well, maybe they should. We should start it.
You're welcome to snap if you want to.
No, we have to snap together. If it's just one of us...
Shh. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Hopefully this one hits and isn't...
Her eyes flick briefly in your direction.
Oh no. She's about to roast. Corny.
I felt that!
Yeah. This is appropriate.
Yeah. You're back to wanting to sink into the floor. Insert Get Out reference.
Oh god, yeah.
Here. Alex snorts. You elbow him in the shoulder. You need to have a talk about what loving and supporting your socially maladjusted friend actually means, because it sure as hell isn't this. But then the lights go down and Yolanda starts to speak, and it's like flipping a switch. The audience might still be making noise. You honestly have no idea. At this point, you could be hit by a 10-foot wave and you wouldn't even notice you were wet. It's not the words to the poem, though they're pretty good to your amateur ear. Dark shapes moving through a bright day and leaving no shadows, that sort of imagery. And it's not the way she looks either, although she looks good. There's something in the way she speaks, a clear intonation to her words, a cadence to her gestures. It's confidence, but it is also the opposite of that, indifference. She has something to say, and she's going to say it, even if no one is listening. If Yolanda were performing to an empty room, she'd give the same energy, the same calm assurance that her words have value. Wow, I wish that were me. But that's interesting, because I think that maybe that's, like... I feel like they are a character foil.
I don't know what that means.
Sorry.
Is it like they complement each other?
So, I guess, like, character foil means when you put two characters side by side to bring out the ways that they contrast. That they are different, but maybe also, like, how they're the same. But, like, the thing that's stark is, like, oh, these two characters are, like, very different in ways that are, like... So Inaya is very like hyper aware of like how she's perceived, and that's kind of coming through in like the social anxiety and the internal monologue, and also the themes around like her being like a live streamer and stuff like that,
and the fact she can't cook good if people are watching. Yeah,
exactly. And body image is totally, like, part of that too. And from what we've seen, at least, or, like, from the way that, at least, Inaya perceives her, like, very much by contrast, Yolanda is, like, indifferent. Like, that's an interesting choice of words. Like, I think that that's kind of more powerful than being confident, in a way.
Yeah.
Like, indifferent. She doesn't care what people think of her. So, yeah, like, I feel like they've been foiled in that way. I wonder if we get to play as Yolanda at some point.
I hope so.
because that would be really interesting, because then we could contrast like how she's perceived by others to like how she actually feels and what's actually going on in her head.
Because I know when we did the demo, we got to witness Malik through Isabella's storyline and then play Malik. So hopefully there'll be more of that. Yeah,
and that's a really interesting dynamic, actually. And it's not like other games haven't necessarily, like, there aren't some games that have kind of like done that before. I'm trying to think of examples to like, because there are games where you like play as different characters, I guess. But what's coming to mind, because like my flatmate's partner was over and playing Heavy Rain, so David Cage is coming to mind. In Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, it has that whole format where you play as the different characters.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that the different characters really intersect until like late in the game.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily, and like movies do that sometimes too, right? Or like TV shows. And it's like, oh, you have these different plot lines, and then usually late on they intersect. But that specific dynamic of like you see a character like through their own eyes, and you also see them through other people's eyes, I don't think is necessarily like explored in that way, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, not loads. I think there's a game, I can't remember the name of it, it's Scarlet something. It's another like JRPG type game where there's like a male protagonist and a female protagonist, and they lead two different groups of people, so they interact sometimes in the game and you see the other one, but you can then, like, once you complete the game the first time, you can switch to the other protag and see it from the other side, but it's, like, not simultaneous. You're not switching between the characters on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really like it. I think this game is dope.
Yeah.
To someone like you, ever fidgeting and vamping... Is it vamping? Trying not to look at viewer counts, ignoring vicious comments from out the corner of your eye. Oh, well, she made the comparison.
Yeah.
Aware that it's only a matter of time before someone comes along and tears all the success out of your hands and scatters it to wind. It's humbling, to say the least. Her performance winds down, but she maintains intensity all the way through. When she's finished and the lights come up, you sit in thunderstruck silence as everyone else around you applauds politely. You might manage to put your hands together a couple times. There's no way you've only had 2 beers. Where's the fucking ABV on this bottle? That was amazing. It comes out breathy and squeezed. You don't think you got any air at all through the entire performance. Beside you, Alex is texting.
Huh? Oh, yeah, she's really good.
Were you even watching?
What? Yeah, I mean, I've seen this one before.
She said it was a new one.
Yeah, well, all of her poems blend together.
Wow.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean she's doing, like, a themed book of poetry or something. You should ask her about it.
Holy shit, you should. It didn't occur to you to go up and talk to her. Your everyday interaction with people is through a screen. Only way to show your appreciation is to like, comment, and subscribe.
Which is what you should do.
You shouldn't get pissy at Alex for not being moved by Yolanda's performance. You aren't an artist, but you're close enough to understand not everything resonates with everyone who hears. On the other hand, you don't want to be the only asshole who got knocked on the floor by a pretty girl saying a poem in the back of a hair salon. And oh fuck, she's coming over here, isn't she?
Hey, Alex, glad you could make it. Yolanda, you were fantastic.
Alex's phone immediately goes into his pocket when she walks over. He might be a shitty audience member, but he's not a complete dickhead. Why are you being so rude about him in your head right now? Alex is cool. He's put up with your bullshit for years.
Thanks, I was a little worried about that one, honestly. Didn't think it would vibe with the room. You killed it. Oh, by the way, this is Inaya. I pulled her out of her cave for the night.
Hey.
She thought you were great. So either repeat the sentiment or be like, I can speak for myself, actually.
I think for like a first impression, I might want to say like, hi.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want to get arsey immediately.
Yeah, I feel like if we were like already familiar and she already knew our dynamic with Alex,
yeah,
maybe, but... Hi, I thought you were great. Yolanda laughs, looking between the two of you like she's trying to figure you out. I'm trying to figure it out too.
Yeah.
That's fine, you're unfigureoutable.
Maybe they've known each other long enough that it's kind of like a sibling relationship.
Like Inaya and Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, thanks.
I get kind of the feeling that they were saying like, oh, he puts up with my bullshit. He's done that for a long time. I get the feeling that maybe there seems to be like some kind of tension in the relationship that I think is natural when you have like a friendship, but one person in particular is like going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And the other person is in the role more of being like the reliable like party, and they're there for you, but maybe they're starting to have some resentment about it, and you feel bad about it, like leaning on them, and they're those kind of dynamics. Yeah. If that makes sense.
That thing of like they don't want to resent you because you're friends, but like it's pushing it a bit, and like neither of you know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I get the feeling that that's kind of where the tension might be coming from. She smiles at you, and you wish you had something else to say, but you know literally nothing about poetry. You can't even fucking remember if it rhymed. Before you can freak, a very tall woman walks up to your seat.
Hey Yo-Yo, I gotta go. You good? Ooh, new character. Zira, hairstylist, Yolanda's co-worker. I guess? Where's... Mariah? Maria?
I'm not sure.
She left. She needed to get the last bus. Oh, I thought it ran until midnight on Fridays. I got no idea. Maybe I misunderstood her. I gotta get this place put away before tomorrow. I really have to go.
Yolanda starts fidgeting with one of her braids. For a moment you think her fingers are shaking, as if from fear or exhaustion, but her demeanor is so calm, you might be mistaken.
I've been working for 12 hours, Zira. I know. But my brother's about to get off work, and I'm not gonna let him walk home this time of night. Right, of course. Go, I'll figure something out.
It might be the beers, you still haven't found the damn ABV, but you catch a glimpse of Yolanda's mask slipping. It's nothing radical, she just looks tired. Exhausted, she looks the way you do after a day full of live streaming and tearing apart your kitchen. Before you take the time to think about it, I can help you.
Huh?
Oh fuck, now you have to commit to it. I can help you clean the place up, if you want.
Why?
You weren't prepared for this question. You were expecting a polite refusal, since you were a complete stranger and had only been half serious.
I have nothing else to do, or it's a free country, right?
No.
Neither of these are good options. Where's the I think you're cute and I'm drunk option?
I
mean, I kind of despise that it's a free country as a statement.
Yeah, like, it could be, like, in a jokey way, but
yeah.
I still don't love it. Both of these seem kind of like maybe a little bit rude.
Yeah.
Especially from what we know about this character, I feel like it'll come across that way. And I don't know if this is, like, intentional. on their part that they're giving us, like, some choices that aren't, like, wonderful or easy to read.
I'm leaning towards I have nothing else to do, even though I kind of hate it.
Let's go for it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I have nothing else to do. I really liked your poetry, and I don't have anything else to do.
This is very Steven Universe.
I really liked your poetry, and I don't have anything else to do. You can practically hear Alex face palming behind you. Come on, man. Sight gags are worthless in real life. Yolanda stares at you a couple seconds before smiling hesitantly.
Sure, appreciate it. Come find me when people clear out, okay? I gotta go small talk a little bit more.
Yeah, now that you're mentioning it, and the more that I'm looking at them, the more I'm seeing Steven Universe.
Yeah.
She joins the... I know that the developers have said that there was no intentional Steven Universe referencing.
Yeah, because the font is very similar to Steven Universe title cards.
Yeah, and a lot of people have apparently said that, and the devs were like...
It's just a nice font.
Yeah, that's a coincidence. And I was like, it's, well, two gay things associated with the same font, that doesn't seem like a coincidence to me. She joins the people milling around the stage, throwing you a brief glance over her shoulder.
Hey, I can't stay late enough for you to pick up chicks with your incredible room straightening skills. Or whatever. I got work in the morning.
I'll just get an Uber. Uber?
Uber?
What? Why are you looking at me like I've got food all over my face?
Well, you've got something on your face, but I was ignoring it because you told me to on Instagram.
Wow. You elbow him.
I'm not used to you being impulsive, that's all.
Whatever.
Couldn't be me.
It's not like I have anything else to do. It's either that or sitting at home and posting.
You love sitting at home and posting.
Well, it's not good for my brain. Don't worry about me. You're not my real dad. Yeah, I think that... I don't know why I'm doing this, but I think that speaks to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
You get Alex to leave with a bit more coaxing, and as soon as he's gone, you wish you hadn't. You need the phone charger from his car. You're at 30%. You need a phone to get home tonight. Shit, you are so bad at this whole going out and doing things element of life. Why bother? You put your phone on airplane mode and wait for the place to clear out. You keep walking up your screen and navigating to bitter before remembering you don't have any signal. It's practically a nervous tick. The boomers are right. You really do be on that phone. Luckily, now that the beers are sold out, people start to leave. And then it's just you and Yolanda and the mood lighting.
Okay.
She's counting cash from the makeshift bar with quick, practiced flicks of her fingers, stacking bills in neat piles. Then she stands over the cash box, head bowed, like she's praying or thinking or resting her eyes. You get the sudden impulse to part her hair to get a look at the nape of her neck. An intensely creepy thought to have. She straightens up, and whatever spell she'd cast is broken.
Hey, thanks again for staying.
She's back to politely energetic. She doesn't need to put on her customer service act for you. You live stream. You know what people look like when they're performing. But you don't know her at all. What are you gonna say? Relax? No problem. Is there anything specific you want me to do?
Can you stack the chairs? Not too high, 3 or 4 in a stack.
Got it, yes, I can definitely do that. Well, they are buff, so... You stack chairs, you only knock your elbow into one a couple times, and you only drop one twice. Did 2 beers do this to you? You are a little old lady. After you're done with the chairs, you sweep and take out the trash. You hate doing chores, but this is way less awful than doing them in your own apartment. Maybe because you weren't the one to make the mess in the first place. Why clean up when you're just gonna get everything messy again? Clutter doesn't bother you like it seems to bother most people. It drove your mom crazy.
I feel that a lot. I much preferred cleaning in my, retail and food service jobs than cleaning my own damn house. And I think it is just because I'm like, well, it's just gonna get messy again. And, like, I don't have to serve food off of it, so, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think I can understand that. I think that my main motivation to clean in my own house is either, like, if people are gonna be over, or, like, it's weird because I do have this thing where, like, I feel significantly better in my head when things are neat and tidy and clean and put together, but then I'm also depressed and don't have much energy. So, like, a lot of the time I want to clean, but I just can't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. My desk desperately needs a clean, but I managed to clean the keyboard and then was like, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, like, I can only do so much.
Ooh.
I think I'd ask when she started, like, ask about her poetry.
Yeah, rather than, like... Because, like, this could be about her own poetry, but also it kind of suggests, like, do you have a favourite, like, big famous poem?
It's like, it's
like
such a...
The Road Less Travelled or whatever.
Yeah, it's such a, like generic small talk question. I think the other one's a bit more, like,
Personalised.
Yeah, exactly. So, when did you start writing poetry?
Huh?
She looks at you with such a strange expression that you wonder if you've committed some intense poet faux pas. Sorry, I didn't mean to make, like, first date small talk. I was just wondering. I liked your poem a lot. Come on, Inaya, you already said that. Yolanda smiles again, looking slightly relieved, like she was worried you were trying to catch her in a lie.
Oh, I don't even really remember. I've been scribbling stuff down since I could write, I think. I used to carry notebooks with me everywhere I went. I mean, I still do that, but I use the Notes app on my phone too.
Well, I've never written a poem in my life. I mean, I guess I've written a roses are red, violets are blue type of poem. But that's it. Yolanda shrugs.
To be honest, anyone can write poetry.
She says it like she's had this conversation before. A lot of people must tell her about their dogshit poetry. What else do you say to a poet? Probably not everyone. There are so many people who barely have a personality. Yolanda laughs, one loud ha.
I know, that's right. Man, I don't mean to be rude or anything, like, this is a safe space, you know. I don't want people to feel like they can't come here and be their true, authentic selves.
And if your true, authentic self is fucking boring...
Yeah!
We're the same.
Same vibe.
Yolanda closes the cash box and comes over to hold the dustpan for you. You sweep up a cocktail of dust, bottle caps, and little bits of plastic.
We used to get this one girl, pretty young, like 21 or 22, and she'd always show up and just do these crazy long poems about the same dude. He sounded really weird, like he had birds, way too many birds.
Wait, she talked about this guy's birds in her poem?
God, yeah, literally in every piece.
Maybe he cheated on her with a toucan.
Yeah, she didn't last that long, but I think about her all the time. Wherever you are, bird girl, I hope you're doing good.
Pour one out for bird girl. The two of you finish the cleanup, and now that you've bonded over making fun of some random girl's terrible poetry, Yolanda has warmed up to you. Not that you think she just super likes mocking people. It's more that complaining can always bring people together. I feel that.
Yeah.
I love to be a little bitch together. Back in college, the single easiest way to start up a conversation was bitching about the syllabus, the professor, the long distance between buildings on campus. That's so true.
And if you bitch enough, you become a student activist.
That is correct. That is why we are where we are today. You used to be good at making friends. You're not sure what happened. You kept snatching glances at her while you worked. Not to sound fake deep, but ever since you were a teenager, you've only been attracted to people you were intellectually stimulated by. Ugh, you hate hearing how that sounds even in your own brain. Like you're one of those sapiosexual...
I was literally about to say that. I couldn't remember the word. I was like, metrosexual? That's a different thing.
Metrosexual is a thing, I don't actually know what it means, but it reminds me of, like, that one... There's a bit in Life is Strange, I swear, where someone... Yeah, this is such a specific thing that I remember about Life is Strange. There's someone who writes a letter to David Madsen and is like, if you sign the petition about the surveillance guy, someone writes him a letter being like, nobody believes in the important work that you're doing, Mr. Madsen, but I do. This school is full of libtard metrosexuals.
Yeah, it's like the way I would describe a metrosexual is like a city living man who's basically a hipster and is like not afraid to like let go of some aspects of toxic masculinity, but like is still fundamentally a toxic masculinist, but isn't like a labourer.
It's like that, it's like a shallow thing. It's like an image.
It's fully an image.
Like, of an image of being, like, liberal or whatever.
Yeah, and, like, caring about how you look and, like, getting your hair done and whatever. Like, the classic image of, like, hipster man, handlebar mustache and, like, three-piece suit is in my head right now.
So, Mark Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. He thinks he's better than other people because of it as well.
And then secretly, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Celebrities, sure, you can be attracted to them for their looks or charisma, but in real life, it's always been difficult to connect unless they were interesting. Maybe that's not weird. Maybe it's normal. Yeah, it's totally normal.
Yeah.
Plenty of people feel like that. You don't have much basis for comparison. Yolanda isn't your type, but that's because you don't have a type. You have a list of attributes you'd pick and choose from to form a perfect human, like a Build-A-Bear workshop, but with someone you wanted to date. That feels like it could potentially be a metatextual reflection on video games.
Yeah.
Like dating in video games. Which I'm sure is something that this game, entitled ValiDate,
yes.
is thinking about. You mean it in a way that doesn't sound like a supervillain, though.
Yeah, less eugenics-y.
The point is, you wouldn't be attracted to Yolanda if you hadn't heard her poem. But you did, so now you are. And now that that door is open, you're catching glimpses of her other good qualities.
This could also be demi-romantic representation as well, of that sort of like, something has to click between you for you to feel that romantic attraction.
I was thinking that. It's not really something that I personally care to, like, label or whatever, but I understand why people do, so I'm not like... But I think that I would probably describe myself as demi-romantic. Like, if I had to, like, think about it really deeply, I don't think I'm demisexual, because I feel sexually attracted to all sorts of people all the time. But I think I'm demi-romantic, because, like, it's so, like, rare that it happens to me that I, like, really click with someone romantically, and it usually is, like similar to this, I would say. Yeah. So, yeah, totally normal and cool, and thing that other people feel is what we're trying to say.
Not everyone has Hollywood chemistry with every person that they want to date.
Yeah. You hope she didn't see you looking at her ass. That was a tonal change. Yeah. She's way out of your league. You with your Instagram cooking show and your unplucked eyebrows, your baggy overalls and unstyled hair. She owns a salon. You're unsurprised she let you hang around for this long. Wow. This is too relatable. Yeah. Me being like, oh, I'm attracted to someone, and then my brain being like, here are all of the reasons why they would never ever want you.
God damn it.
Which is why then the two of you finish up and she asks if you want to come over to her place. It knocks you out.
Gay. No problem if not. I just know you mentioned you wanted to charge your phone. And I live basically upstairs.
Right. She's being polite. Makes sense. No, look at her little face.
Yeah, she's like, ah.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to be home at a reasonable hour. Tomorrow is the weekend and you work from home, at home for yourself, which means it's always a weekend, but more depressing. Oof, ain't that the truth?
Say yes or say hell yes.
Hell yes. Right?
Sure.
What? Do you disagree? Is that too enthusiastic?
I think we're fairly confident that Yolanda is offering in a more than polite way. So I think say yes would be the polite thing, and say hell yes is the I have been looking at your ass all night way.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Hell yeah, sounds like fun.
Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you aren't already, remember to subscribe and hit that bell button to know when we upload next.
On screen, you can find this whole playlist for this Let's Play, and you can find a link to our latest video essay. If you like what you see, consider supporting us on Patreon. The link to our Patreon is in the description of every video.
Thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, take care.